Alice in Wonderland, Chapter 3, A Caucus Race and a Long Tale. It was indeed a strange group that came to shore, birds with wet and ruffled feathers, animals with their fur clinging to them, all dripping wet, angry, and uncomfortable. They all had a talk about how to get dry. After a while, Alice felt quite at ease with them, like she'd known them all her life. At last, the mouse, who seemed to be the figure of authority amongst them, called out, "Sit down, all of you, and listen to me. I'll soon make you dry enough." They all sat down at once in a large circle, with the mouse in the middle. Said the mouse with an important air. "Are you all ready?" He told them a dull story of William the Conqueror that almost put them to sleep. "Ugh," said the dodo with a shiver. "I beg your pardon," replied the mouse, frowning but trying to be polite. "Did you say something?" "I'm sorry, but your story has not dried us one bit. We are still soaking wet, the lot of us," explained the poor, bored dodo. "I think the best way for us to dry ourselves is to have a caucus race." "What is a caucus race?" asked Alice. "Why," said the dodo, "the best way to explain it is to do it." He marked a circular race course and made everyone take positions around it. Now, no one ever called out, "1, 2, 3, go!" But all the creatures began running and stopping whenever they felt like it. However, after running for half an hour, everyone was dry. The dodo suddenly called out, "The race is over," and everyone stopped, holding their sides and panting. "But who won?" they asked. This question the dodo could not answer. He sat for a long time with one finger pressed upon his forehead, thinking hard. After thinking for a long time, he answered, "Everybody's won. All must have prizes." "But who's to give the prizes?" everyone asked. "Why, she, of course," said the dodo, pointing to Alice. They all crowded around her, asking for their prize. Quite confused, she reached into her pocket and pulled out a packet of comfits, which thankfully hadn't gotten soaked. She handed one each to everyone. Fortunately, there was just about enough. "But she must have a prize herself, you know," said the mouse. "Of course," the dodo replied very gravely. "What else have you got in your pocket?" he went on, turning to Alice. "Only a thimble," said Alice sadly. "Give it to me," said the dodo. Then they all crowded around her once more, while the dodo presented the thimble, saying, "We would like you to accept this elegant thimble." When he had finished this short speech, they all cheered. Alice thought the whole thing was very silly, but they all looked so grave that she did not dare to laugh. As she could not think of anything to say, she simply bowed and took the thimble, looking as serious as she could. After the prize distribution, she walked up to the mouse and asked him to tell her his life story, the reason he hated C and D, That's cats and dogs, in case you forgot. Mine is a long and sad tale, sighed the mouse. Alice looked down at the mouse's tail. Yes, it is a long tail, but why do you call it sad? She thought he was speaking of his tail, tail. You are not listening to me, said the mouse, frowning at Alice. What are you thinking of? Oh, forgive me, said Alice. You got to the fifth bend, I think. You insult me by talking such nonsense, said the mouse angrily and walked away. Please come back, cried Alice to him, but the mouse just shook his head and angrily walked away. Oh, I wish I had my cat Dinah here, said Alice. She'd soon fetch him back. And who is Dinah, if I might dare to ask the question? Said the lorry. Alice replied eagerly, for she was always ready to talk about her pet. Dinah's our cat, and she's such an expert for catching mice. And oh, I wish you could see her after the birds. Why, she'll eat a little bird as soon as she sees it. On hearing this, all the other creatures ran away, leaving Alice all alone. I wish I hadn't mentioned poor Dinah. Nobody seems to like her here, and I think she's the best cat in the whole world. Poor Alice started crying once more. Just then, she heard the patter of feet. She stopped crying and eagerly looked up. Stay tuned for chapter 4.